Hi guys, Mrs. Berardis here, and I actually have a guest with me tonight. I know my classes I visit might remember him, but Mr. Berardis is here. So
Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're not torturing your parents too much. Hopefully, you're doing your work. I hope you enjoyed tonight's story.
So this is called Prince Cinders, and this story is uh, a fairy tale that they adapted. So that means they took a fairy tale we all know and made it a little different. So Prince Cinders, I'm going to give you 1 second. I'm going to count to 3, and at home you can say what story you think this might be like. Prince Cinders. All right. Hopefully at home you said Cinderella. Is that what you were thinking?
That's
Mr.
what I was
Bardis?
thinking. Yep.
All right. So Prince Cinders, obviously, instead of a Princess Cinderella, we have a prince. And Mr. Berardis and I are going to take turns reading. And I like to be a little silly with this book. So sit back, enjoy Prince Cinders.
By Babette Cole, if you weren't aware. All right. Let me get a little shift here. All right. Prince Cinders was not much of a prince. He was small, spotty, scruffy, and skinny. He had 3 big hairy brothers who were always teasing him about his looks. They don't sound very nice.
Mm-mm.
Little hairy, kind of like Mr. Berardis. They spent their time going to the palace disco with their princess girlfriends. They made poor Prince Cinders stay behind and clean up after them.
Mm-hmm.
When his work was done, he would sit by the fire and wish he was as big and hairy like his brothers. Then one Saturday night, when he was washing his socks, a dirty fairy tale fell down the chimney. I don't know if you can see that, but a little fairy came down the chimney.
All your wishes shall be granted, cried the fairy. Ziz, ziz, boom, tick, tick, ta, this empty can shall be a car. Biff, biff, bong, bo, 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 to the disco you shall go. Oh, that can't be right, said the fairy. I don't know if you can see at home, but the car is very, very tiny. So it seems like the fairy had a little trouble there. Toe of a rat and eye of a newt, your rags will turn into a suit. Oh, drat, thought the fairy. I didn't mean a swimsuit. Your greatest wish I'll grant to you. You shall be big and hairy too. All right, before we turn, Mr. Bardis, can you take a guess? So she messed up the car, right? It became a little car. Then she wanted to give him a suit. So those at home that don't know, like a suit to go out, to be fancy. But she gave him a swimsuit. Now she said you'll be, because remember, he wants to be big and hairy like his brothers. She said you're going to be big and hairy. Do you think she's going to get that right?
I don't know. She's 0 for 3 so far.
All right, let's find out. At home, really quick, make a prediction. All right.
Prince Cinders got big and hairy, all right.
Rats, said the fairy. Wrong again, but I'm sure it all wears off at midnight. She doesn't even know.
Prince Cinders didn't know he was a big hairy monkey because that's the kind of spell it was. So if you can see, he's looking in the mirror. He looks like one of his brothers. He has a nice suit on. He's hairy. He doesn't look like a big ape in a bathing suit. So he doesn't know what's going on. And he's a little confused that his fairy is British. But I don't know. We won't mention that. We'll go on. So off they went to the disco. The car was too small to drive, but he made the best of it. Again, if you can see, he's riding a car like a skateboard. That's how big and hairy she made him. He couldn't fit in the car. He's riding it like a skateboard. But when he arrived at the Rockin' Royal Bash, he was even too big to fit through the door. So he's just watching from the outside. He's peeking through right here. He decided to take the bus home. As he was there, a pretty princess was waiting at the stop. Eek! When's the next bus? He grunted. He was talking to her, and she screamed.
Remember, she sees a big hairy ape, and she's scared. I think I would be too. Would you be, Mr. Bardis?
Absolutely. Luckily, midnight struck, and Prince Cinders did change back to himself. The princess thought he saved her by frightening the big, hairy, scary monster away.
Wait! She shouted, but Prince Cinders was too shy. He even lost his trousers in the rush. So, what did Cinderella lose? Do you remember what Cinderella loses?
Was it a glove? I don't think it was a glove.
Yeah, I think at home they know. A glass slipper.
A slipper.
So they're taking this, instead of losing a glass slipper, he loses his pants. Oh my gosh.
The princess was none other than the rich and beautiful Princess Lovelypenny. She put out a proclamation to find the owner of the trousers. Here's the proclamation she posted up in the hall for everyone to see. The Princess Lovelypenny decrees that she will marry whoever fits into the trousers lost by the princess who saved her from the big, hairy monster.
I think Mr. Baradas meant to say the prince, not princess.
That's what he said.
Oh. See, teachers and principals, we all make mistakes.
All right. Every prince for miles around tried to force the trousers on, trying to squeeze into them. Remember, just like Cinderella's sisters and everyone tried to fit.
But nobody could.
But the trousers refused to fit any of them.
So funny.
Of course, Prince Cinder's brothers all fought to get into the trousers at once. Now they're bigger. Are they going to fit in there all together? I don't think so.
Let him try, commanded the princess, pointing at Cinders. They won't fit that little squirt, sneered his brothers. But they did. Princess Lovelypenny proposed immediately. So Prince Cinders married Princess Lovelypenny and lived in luxury happily ever after. And Princess Lovelypenny had a word with the fairy about his big, hairy brothers.
Bum bum. Whom she turned into house fairies, and they flitted around the palace doing all of the housework forever and ever and ever.
The end. All right, guys. So that was a cute, one of my favorite stories. Cinderella, an adaptation of Cinderella. And I think at the end of the day, it still tells the same theme we can get from this story that I would always get from Cinderella. And I don't know if you agree, Mr. Bardis, but I think at the end of the day, sometimes it's hard to be kind when people aren't being kind back. Can you agree?
Absolutely.
But I think at the end of the day, it shows kindness always wins. And Prince Cinders definitely wasn't treated fairly by his brothers. But look what happens. When you stay kind and you do the right thing, it always wins in the end, right?
Good things will happen for sure.
Definitely. And you might not have to turn into a big, hairy ape in the meantime, right? We can just be kind and it wins.
Absolutely.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. I miss you, Mr. Baradas misses hearing stories about us being in the school. I know he works at another school. He misses his school. Like he said, I hope you all are doing your work and staying safe. Be kind to your parents. That's where it really pays off, all right? All right. Keep doing that work, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.